We are back with another Godfather Minute. I'm Alex Robinson.
And I'm Andy Robinson.
And together we're the Godfather Minute. We go through the entire movie in order, minute by minute, and use it as an excuse to share behind-the-scenes information, alternate theories. We crack jokes.
We make offers you can't refuse.
And all sorts of things like that along those lines.
And of course, this is all
for charity.
And to promote the big reveal, which is we are opening a nightclub in Portland, Oregon, called Fredo Corleone's Mickey Mouse Nightclub.
Do you think we're having trouble getting the rights to have Mickey Mouse in the name of it? Not to mention Fredo Corleone.
Yeah.
As long as they don't use that logo, that prize.
I know, yeah. Well, it's going to have to be like a knockoff for all of them. It's going to have to be like, I don't know, like Frankie Corleone.
Or, like Frida Corleone. Anyway, so we're talking about minute 28 of The Godfather, 1972.
And Tom Hagen goes to Hollywood. This is definitely a transitional minute.
It is. The first time we're leaving the safe confines of the Corleone compound, the cozy confines of the Corleone compound.
Carlo's candy store. We talked about that already. Connie and Carlo's candy store.
Anyway, so yes, minute 28.
Dun, 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 dun. We're allowed to reproduce the music, right?
Sure, yeah, a cappella. I think you can probably do it, yeah.
We should come up with lyrics for that. Tom's going to Hollywood to talk to Waltz
about Johnny's part
when he gets there. That little interlude section.
Yeah.
I was going to have Waltz going, all right, start talking.
I like this. We're to the musical now. We're going back to that. It
always comes back to the musical.
Yeah. I love the idea that it would be that song, and then on the way back it would be like, Tom's coming back
from Hollywood. The Don won't be happy.
Cut off a horse's head.
He made him an offer he couldn't refuse. He cut off a horse's head.
So Andrew, repeat after me. Minuto.
Número.
Veinte. Ocho.
Almost.
Oh.
Veinte almost.
Oh, that's 19.
It's actually, this was a little tricky. Ventotto.
Ventotto?
Yeah. You don't say venti. It kind of gets absorbed into the 8 part. Ventotto.
Oh, so Toto is 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, otto is 8.
Otto.
Yeah. And the vent is the 20. So
it's like ocho, but otto.
Yeah. Ventotto.
Minuto numero ventuto. Ventotto.
Think of the band Toto.
Oh, when do I not think of the band Toto? Numero
You got it.
Slow it down. I got to slow it down.
It is
Eh?
Yeah.
Minuto numero ventuto.
What's the band?
Toto.
That's it.
I totally forgot it.
You got it.
Speaking of you got it, we can officially announce that we have set up our official Godfather Minute email account. You put a musical fanfare in there.
Yes.
And we tried to get Zaza at gmail.com. Somebody already had it.
Someone's already got Zaza.tv, Zaza.org.
We tried to do Zaza with 3 A's at the end. So it'd be Zaza. Someone had that already.
Oh my gosh.
So we just went with Godfather Minute at gmail.com.
The alternative was going to be every time I try to get out, they pull me back in at gmail.com. But that was taken.
Oh, I thought your battery died before you finished putting it in because it was so long. So if you want to send us cards and letters, if you want to send us MP3s of you saying Zaza, or, if you have some a question you have for us, or factoids you want to share,
or just commentary, let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah. Or, hey, I know if you're Al Pacino, there's $3,000 in it for you.
I thought it was $2,000.
$2,000.
Well, maybe for the main characters, we'll offer $3,000.
Yeah, we need to come up with let's maybe for one of our bonus contents in the future, we can come up with a chart showing how much we would pay.
That's
for
a great idea.
Each actor.
Oh, write that down. Okay, we keep forgetting these.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll come up with a tier system of how much people get. Ringo will get like $200.
Although, I don't know. I think Ringo would get more now because there's only 2 Beatles left.
Oh, yeah. So
it
gets twice as much.
Yeah, $600. All right, I'm writing down here bonus content.
So a tiered system for having guests on. But guests, if you're listening, or not guests, but actors from the movie, if you're listening, you're going to have to prove that you truly are that person.
All right, famous guest price list. Wrote it down.
Great.
So, I mean, if you want to hear some of that, we do a little bit of bonus content for each issue, anywhere for each issue, each episode. I think our shortest one is 10 minutes, but sometimes they go as long as half an hour.
They really do. They're all over the place. Sometimes on the bonus episodes, we just get going and start riffing. And before we know it,
bust out the guitar, shredding some licks.
Yeah.
And so, there you go. So, godfatherminute.com/support. If you want to get bonus content.
And we do appreciate all the support listeners have been giving us.
It's quite touching. And don't forget, we have our goal is if we reach our goal, when I think we are 25% of the way there.
Oh, great.
Then we will do a Godfather 3 audio commentary.
The whole movie, Alex and I riffing, talking about how we don't understand this movie within... Internationalari, or
it's very we don't have the head for big deals the way Michael Corleone does, so
like the Pope does.
Anyway, get us over that limit, and we because we are dying to watch Godfather 3 again, but we don't want to.
Well, you and I tried to watch it a few years ago. Yeah, we got to third of the way through, and something happened. We couldn't.
Yeah, it wasn't
continue.
like we quit on it. No. We just something happened, and then by the time we got back to it, we didn't remember what happened in the beginning of the movie. And so
we realized we would have had to start over. I think that's what discouraged us.
Yeah. So anyway, get us over that limit.
Yeah.
So we could finally watch Godfather 3, starring. All right, let's get to minute 28. It starts off with it's the very last frames of the wedding. We see Connie and the Don.
Backdoor pilot. Connie and the Don. Dancing.
Yeah, well, rewind for 1 second. Didn't we talk that we were going to talk about backdoor pilots in today's bonus content?
That's true, yes.
So we'll be talking about Godfather's spin-off Backdoor Pilots. So stay tuned for that, everyone. Yeah,
Excellent.
So this is the last moment of happiness for the Corleone family before things suddenly start to fall apart.
The Don is dancing with his daughter.
On his daughter's wedding day.
Which is interesting that it's the end of the wedding scene, because I know in Anglo culture, doesn't the father usually have the first dance?
That's true. Well, we don't know if this is a cultural thing or whether he was just so busy, offering to beat people up and get Johnny jobs that he couldn't. They had to keep postponing the first dance until the Don came out. So literally at the end, because they were about to cut the cake and then they were going to leave. So
that was his last shot.
His daughter and the bridegroom. Bridegroom. So I understand that there is a substantial deleted scene that would have been right now.
The book is different than the movie. The book is different than the movie. The book is different. The book is different. The book is different than the movie. Yeah.
That's right. In the book, Puzo writes about a scene after the wedding is concluded, but before Hagen goes to Hollywood, where Don Corleone and his sons go visit the current consigliere. Tom Hagen is technically not the consigliere at this point in the movie.
This is true.
Yeah, Genco Abandando is still the consigliere, even though he's been sick in the hospital and dying.
The formal transition has not happened yet. So, I have a question. 2 questions for you.
Okay.
Well, 1 question with 2 parts.
Go.
Does this qualify as the book being different than the movie?
The book is different than the movie. The book is different than the movie. The book is different. The book is different. The book is different than the movie. Yeah.
Well, technically no, because apparently in the Godfather epic, they did film and edit the scene of them visiting Genco. So it's not in the original movie,
But it is in the book.
It's in the book.
So that would make them different.
I think you're right. The book is different than the movie.
The book is different than the movie. The book is different than the movie.
So in the book...
Well, wait, hold on. So my follow-up question was going to be, do we need a separate theme when we discuss deleted scenes?
Oh, boy, like deleted scene music?
Maybe there should be a book that's different from the movie remix that focuses specifically on deleted scenes.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe I'll work on it
I like
before
giving
this
you new projects to work.
Yeah. I only have a 3-part opera to write.
I know. Hey, I got halfway through the Sicilian. I'm holding up my end of the bargain.
You got 62% of the way through.
64. Okay. So tell me about this deleted scene that is different than the book.
The book is different than the movie.
In the book, and like we said a little bit, it's in the Godfather epic. They go to visit Genco Abandando because he is about to die. And so Don Corleone is going to pay his respects and says that his sons need to come too, because Genco is a very old friend of Don Corleone's, has been his consigliere since the beginning.
As we see in Godfather 2, the name of Don Corleone's olive oil company is Genco Olive Oil.
Yes.
So,
and we talked about in an earlier minute how Genco was present when Don Corleone visited Johnny Fontaine's band leader and got him to sign the contract. Genco was there.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Also, it's kind of hard to tell, but in Genco appears in Godfather 2. He's one of the. Remember when Don Corleone? I guess then he's just little Vidi Corleone is working at the grocery store, but then Don Fanucci has to say, "Oh, you have to hire my nephew here instead." That's one of the guy he works with is Genco. So.
Oh, Genco is working at the grocery store.
That's the Genco family store that Don Fanucci comes in and says.
Right.
So theoretically, if you were watching the epic, you'd be like, "Oh, there's Genco. Remember him from 3 hours ago in the scene?"
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, proceed with the.
And so Puzo writes about this visit to the hospital. Genco is delirious. He's kind of rambling and not making a lot of sense. Don Corleone and his sons are there. Genco asks Don Corleone to cure his cancer and says that Don Corleone can't refuse that because it's his daughter's wedding day.
That's right, yeah.
But eventually Don Corleone talks to him and Genco accepts that death is coming.
Yeah.
And asks the Godfather to stay with him, maybe because we can outsmart the bastard.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because Genco believes that Don Corleone is so powerful and cunning that maybe he can even do that.
Well, yeah. In the line of dialogue in the movie is that he says, he wants Vito to stay with him because if he does, then maybe when death comes, it'll be too frightened and it'll leave. Death will leave because he's scared of Don Corleone. So,
and Johnny Fontaine is also there.
Yeah, I wrote down some notes. Tom doesn't go. Johnny Fontaine goes, but Tom not welcome.
Interesting.
I guess he's going to California.
Yeah, he's probably on his way there already.
So do you think that hurts Tom's feelings? Is he like, why am I out? Because
I think he's just more bumming that he has to sit on a plane.
Oh yeah, this is back of a propeller plane too. That had to be like a 12-hour flight or something.
And as we talked about, he thinks he's really going to watch some of Walt's pictures, right? So he spends half his time trying to find those pictures in Hollywood.
We see the plane we'll get to Tom in Hollywood in a bit, but the Don also says to tell Fredo to drive the big car.
In the screenplay?
In the screenplay. That's one of the lines. He's like, tell Fredo to bring the... which is funny because clearly Fredo is the driver of the car. Oh, yeah. So like, Fredo, pick somebody up at the end. So...
Oh, man.
Like, it's not even like Paulie or like some low-level button man. It's Fredo himself has to do it. And there's... a brief interlude between Michael and... Is this in the book? With the conversation between Michael and the Don?
Michael?
Yeah.
No. This scene in the book, Puzo's just writing about Don Corleone talking to Genco as he's dying.
Yeah. Oh, so no, there's more material.
Oh, interesting.
I guess they needed to because there's no scenes between Michael and Don Corleone up until he gets shot in the movie, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Michael didn't have a scene with the Don.
Yeah.
Or
that's interesting.
So this I think was where they were trying to establish some of the things. When they're getting in the car, the Don says, "Oh, well, how's your American girlfriend gonna get home?" And he says, "Oh, he's gonna go with Tom. Tom is gonna take her back into the city and stuff." So the fact that he says your American girlfriend, clearly there's some judgment in that part.
Yeah.
And Michael's wearing his uniform, of course. So the Don points at all his medals. He's like, "Oh, what are all these Christmas ribbons?" And he's like, "Oh, they're medals." And then the Don says, "Oh, what miracles you do for strangers."
Yeah, he's not happy.
So he does not want. Yeah, and then he says, "Oh, come talk to me because I want to, because he says he's going to go back to college, Michael, and then when you're done, come because you don't talk to me the way you should."
Yeah.
So I have plans for your future. And then
for his future?
He just walks away. Michael doesn't acknowledge that. He just turns away and walks away. So there's a little bit of frostiness between, which is, it would have been interesting to see because it makes Michael's decision later on a much more abrupt turnaround. Because in this part, he's definitely keeping his father at arm's length. And later on, he takes the plunge.
Yeah, that's a really good point because it would add to that change.
Right. Because we don't really, we know with the family, he's kind of like, "Oh, that's not me," but to have it be much more direct with, Yeah, and this is all the other interesting bits from the Jenko scene.
Yeah, neat. The only other thing I have with this part is that after Jenko dies, the Godfather officially makes Tom Hagen the consigliere. This is from the book.
Does you know how he does it?
No, Puzo just writes that he does. That's the moment where he makes him the consigliere. And the consigliere has always been Sicilian. That's why this is very significant and controversial.
That he's an Irish-German consigliere.
And because Tom is now the consigliere, Tom realizes that his task in Hollywood, and the upcoming one with Sollozzo brokering that whole conversation and decision.
You're talking about the Turk?
The Turk, who's good with a knife. That these first tasks are extremely important for Tom Hagen because they're his first tasks as consigliere.
That's funny. I wouldn't think going to Hollywood to talk to Waltz would be a concierge's job. I don't think concierges are the ones who go and do that, but
yeah. Well, maybe Don Corleone anticipated that it would be harder, and so he would have to make arrangements.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to mess up his arrangements.
Yeah.
So I wonder how he lets him know that does he send is there like a card you can get, like, "Congratulations, you're now my like a greeting card"? Is there like a, or does he call him on the phone, or is it something where he has to like
Tom Hagen to Don Corleone letting him know how it went?
No. I meant, how does Don Corleone let Tom Hagen know that he's now officially the concierge?
Oh, yeah.
Is it like a ceremony, or is it like a...
Yeah, I mean, there must be some kind of conversation he has with him.
It's interesting that a sort of undercurrent of the movie is the sort of dissolution of the Sicilian family.
Yeah.
Because, we know Johnny got yelled at for having an American wife, and we know that Michael, your American girlfriend, and Tom's an Irish-German guy who's involved now. He's the concierge. It's a kind of like gradual dissipation of that, which, I guess is the point. You kind of want that. That's why you do this, is so that your family can become assimilated into American culture,
integrated into mainstream business.
But even though the Don seems pretty old fashioned in that way, he's not pleased about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, Tom goes to Hollywood.
And I have a surprise for you, Alex. I'd like to reveal it now.
For me,
all for you, and for our listeners.
Let's hear it.
So, if you remember, during the last minute, which you and I just recorded less than 24 hours ago, we joked, or did we?
You mean last week?
Last week, that's right.
Yes.
You and I joked, or did we, about me writing a song about every minute.
Wow. And
so I was inspired, and I was walking around Portland, Oregon, and I came up with a little musical bit that I would like to perform right now live for our listeners.
All right. I could see how walking around the mean ethnic streets of Portland would put you in the mood to sing about urban crime of the 1940s. So here we go. Now, Andy, you're playing the guitar.
That's right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So I really just wrote this just to capture what happens in the minute. It's not so much commentary. It's more of a summary of the events that take place.
Okay.
Are you ready? Tom goes to Hollywood. He really enjoys Walt's pictures. So enjoy. Tom goes to Hollywood. His godfather sent him on a mission. Will he fail?
Very good.
So,
You should just use that same music for every minute and just put different lyrics in it every time.
and the ending, of course, every time could be
Will
sort
he
of
fail?
Will he fail?
Anytime there's a chance a character will fail, you have to play that song and write
Yeah.
a song about it. Well, that's fantastic.
Well, the part about will he fail, I thought was particularly funny because it's not really setting him up for success. It's like, will he fail?
Oh, the song is what you mean.
It's not setting Tom Hagen up
Yeah,
for success. Like, will he fail?
Yeah, I guess. Well, like you said, though, there's a lot of pressure on those first
Oh, yeah.
jobs. So,
And when we eventually record that for the musical, we'll add like horse whinnying in the background, put some sound effects in there.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
So you would probably just cut right from that to them having dinner together.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
wouldn't have to
Totally.
hold the whole scene of them meeting at you can mix that all in and just have it all take place at the dinner.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you could even just have it all take place at the studio.
Yeah.
You don't need to cut from both. To
Exactly, yeah.
Although he has to change his mind. Anyway, it doesn't matter because ultimately he doesn't change his mind. We'll still save that for we'll get to those in a couple of weeks.
Did you like the Hyman Roth? And
Nice
so
little
enjoy
cameo from him popping out,
because he wants Tom to enjoy the pictures.
right? Popping out of a cake.
So we have Tom going to Hollywood. It really is a transitional minute, isn't it?
Well, we should mention the music here too.
Oh,
because
classic.
we both love that.
Tom goes down to Hollywood.
'Cause
Will he fail?
He better not fail.
He's gonna meet with Waltz, the producer in Hollywood.
So there's that. I guess there's stock footage of, of Los Angeles at the time, the plane landing and stuff.
Yeah.
And I want to call attention to when you see the shot of Hollywood there. You can see the iconic sign on the hill on the mountain in the background, but that was it says Hollywoodland.
Oh, wow.
Because up until 1949, that's what the sign said. It was promoting a real estate company, Hollywoodland.
Oh, interesting.
Like a community called Hollywoodland. It was like
neat.
an advertisement for it. Eventually, they just took down the land part and used it as a.
Didn't know
So
that.
that's good detail that this is before that, and you could see it, and you could see it very distantly in the background. So
Oh, very
keep an eye out
cool.
for that.
Yeah.
And also, Grauman's Chinese Theater is right in the foreground. That's the famous place where everyone puts their hands in the cement.
and you can see it in this film?
Yeah, you can see it's when the camera is panning right before it cuts to the lot, you can see Grauman's Chinese Theater right in the foreground.
Oh,
And,
cool.
I saw 2 movies at that theater. I saw 2
interesting.
Star Wars. I saw when they re-released the Star Wars special editions, and then I saw Rogue One at that theater.
Oh,
so
fun.
there you go.
Oh, very cool. Are any of the actors or actresses in the Godfather, 3 of the Godfather movies, imprinted on the sidewalk there?
That's a
Marlon
great.
Brando's got to be there, right?
That's a great question.
You know what? You asked, we're going to answer. You want to write that down?
Sure.
We'll figure that one out. I'm sure online they've listed some all the people who have been imprinted there, right? Mm-hmm. They probably have them listed. Maybe even a map. I mean, is it hundreds? I've never been there. Is it hundreds?
No. It's
It's a short list.
There's probably maybe 50, 60 people maybe.
Not many.
No, because it's just like an area in front of the movie theater. So So there's also the scene of cars driving by. This is not Godfather specific. I'm just opening this up for general discussion. Everyone likes the way old time cars look.
Yeah.
Right? The fins or whatever the thing, whatever the shape of it is, the Studebakers, the Art Deco thing. Why don't they make modern cars like they should do? Oh, Ford is doing this limited edition. Like it's a modern car, but the shell, like the exterior, is like an old car. How that can't be that hard to do, can it?
I don't think so. I mean, I know cars are no longer made of that heavy metal. They used to be all metal, so
Right,
they would
but-
probably just be made of fiberglass and look like them.
Yeah,
They could
that's-
totally do that. You think there's a market for that?
There would have to be, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you buy a car that looked like
Totally.
a cool?
I mean, they did it with the Bug. They did it with.
I mean, they granted with the Beetle, they changed a lot of the interior. It's
Yeah.
not quite the same, but that's fine. It's mostly the exterior.
Interesting.
That you, so
I
anyway,
wonder.
if any CEOs of car companies are out there and listen to this, happy to act as a consultant to help you
jump
pick out
on
what
it.
cars,
Yeah, well, we can pick out. We can do some focus groups. We can have
Yeah,
our
totally.
listeners weigh in.
yeah.
Based on this one tiny 30 seconds of showing old cars. We're the go-to guys for you.
You could even do like a gangster themed car where there'd be like bullet holes in the side of the
yeah.
car.
That's
like
great.
they shot Sonny on the causeway.
Yeah. Didn't some of those old cars have little step platforms
Sure.
attached to the sides
Yeah, what
that
was
you
that?
could stand on while
Yeah.
you had your Tommy gun?
Yeah. Running board? Is that what that was called?
Maybe. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, they would stand on it, and I'm sure we're going to see someone do that in this movie at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
we
so great shots of the studio. I like how it narrows it down. It's sort of zooming in on a map. You see the airplane landing, and then you see like city streets, and then eventually zooms in all the way to Tom walking down this narrow alley looking for the right studio to meet
right.
Waltz.
Yeah, I should point out the Waltz, the exterior we see there is actually the Paramount lot, which they apparently the art director for the movie, Dean Tuvolaris, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He hated that entrance, and he's like, "Oh, we should use the Warner Brothers one because I guess the Warner Brothers one is a much more fancy looking studio entrance. But to save money, they're like, well, let's just shoot it at Paramount. We spent all our money on that big logo. We can't afford to shoot Warner Brothers, so still there. If you want to try to, if you want to,
very cool.
Sometime in the future. Might not be soon, might be for a while off, but you and I should take a trip to Los Angeles and pose in front of that. We should do a Godfather tour, go to the,
absolutely.
the compound, go to Lake Tahoe, go to, so yeah, that's...
Maybe we can record some bonus episodes too at those locations.
Totally, yeah, interview the...
She's like, we're outside the studio and Ellie's experiencing a 100-year storm.
We're at the Lake Tahoe and stuff. The music's on, the leaves are blowing everywhere.
Yeah.
So
we have to go to Vegas and recreate the Mo Green, Fredo Corleone scene.
Oh, sure.
Have a band playing.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't planning on banging 2 cocktail waitresses at a time, but I'll do it for the show.
Hey, if you viewers, if you want to, listeners, if you want to support this, you got to get us up to the next level of support status to get Alex to do that.
And
we won't take pictures like of Senator Pat Geary. Don't worry.
We'll take them, but then we will rip the film out of the camera and crumple it up and throw it on the ground just to prove to you that there's no photographic evidence of what's going on. So, that's and the minute ends with Tom wandering around the Waltz lot.
I have a little bit of information in the Puzo novel, The Godfather, that leads up to the Tom meeting with Waltz.
Okay, this is like backstory.
Little backstory.
All right,
so I'd like
let's hear
to
it.
share some of it now. So even though the Don had his power in New York, he had become strong by helping labor leaders. And so the Hollywood Union guy talked to Waltz and suggested there could be a strike. We're going to talk more about that in the
because Tom more or less
says all that.
Yeah.
But just a little bit of background that the Don really does have strength out west too.
he's got all those judges in his pocket.
Yeah. Hagen also Hagen has an appointment with Waltz at 10 a.m. And so as Hagen is approaching the studio, he thought that was a bad sign that he has a 10 a.m. appointment. Can you think of why, Alex?
A bad sign that it's a 10 a.m. appointment because Waltz sleeps in?
No, but it does have to do with timing of the day. So it's the first appointment time of the day.
Yeah.
Which means
He'll be busy and distracted.
Well, it's not a good time slot because it's a small worth time. That's the way I think Puzo wrote about it. Also because it doesn't segue into lunch.
Yeah, I was going to say, you want to do something lunch-centered.
Yeah. So you'd have more time. Early morning is like, let's just do this, get it over with. It's business, just talk about it.
Up everything for the day.
Exactly. He probably would be late while production is still setting up.
Constantly be interrupted by receptionists bringing in stuff.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about that when we actually see that scene. But this is what's going through Tom Hagen's head, and he's thinking, "Oh my gosh, this is my first task as consigliere to the family. This is already a bad sign."
Is he going to fail?
We'll see.
All right. So we'll find out next week how he does. Oh, I can't wait to see the scenes. Oh, they're so great. There's so many great scenes in this movie.
I know. It really just gets better and better.
Yeah.
I think it really, truly gets better and better.
It gets better.
Yeah.
So, all right. So
how do you rate this minute, Alex?
Oh, right. Well, we talked a lot about the Jenko stuff, which isn't in the minutes. It's mostly just Tom flying to Hollywood. Yeah. The music's good.
Music is good. It's memorable.
I'm going to go ahead and just give it 2 stars.
Yeah, I agree too.
Transitional material.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Some nice footage of Los Angeles.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I guess that'll do it.
Yeah.
So,
2s all around.
We gave out the email address, godfatherminute@gmail.com.
Fredo Corleone's Mickey Mouse Nightclub on Facebook. Send us your recordings of you saying "do it," or any other question, commentary you have to, what's the email again?
godfatherminute@gmail.com.
Oh,
it's very, very easy to remember.
Yeah.
So, yes. So, we're going to stick around to record our bonus content. Did we already say it's going to be more Backdoor Pilots discussion?
Pilots, yes.
Okay, so let's do that. So, if you want to hear that discussion, go to godfatherminute.com/support. Otherwise, we'll see you on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, wait, that's the wrong ending.
No!